Welcome back to JF Coin, the channel where we explore the hidden treasures of United States coins, their history, and their surprising values in today's market. If you love coins, collecting rare pieces, or just want to learn how a simple coin in your pocket could be worth a fortune, then stay with me because today's video is going to be very exciting. We are talking about the legendary Liberty Quarter Dollar from 1965, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors all around the world. Now let's dive deep into the story of this coin. The year 1965 was a turning point in American coinage history. Before this year, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But in 1965, something dramatic happened. The rising price of silver forced the United States Mint to completely change the composition of the quarter. Silver was removed, and the coin was transformed into a copper nickel-clad design. This was the beginning of a new era, and the 1965 Liberty Quarter became the very first modern quarter without silver. This change shocked the public at that time because people had trusted the silver content for generations. The design of the coin itself is iconic. On the obverse side, we see the powerful image of George Washington, the very first president of the United States. His portrait is bold, strong, and symbolic of freedom and leadership. The word liberty sits proudly above his head, reminding us of the values the nation was built upon. On the reverse side, there is a majestic bald eagle with its wings spread wide, clutching arrows in its talons, a true symbol of strength and readiness to defend the country. This design was created by John Flanagan, and it remains one of the most recognized coin designs in America. But what makes the 1965 Liberty Quarter so special today? The answer lies not only in its history but also in its value. Although it was made in huge numbers, certain rare varieties and conditions make this coin highly valuable in the market. Collectors and investors hunt for coins in pristine mint state condition, and even more, they look for errors. Yes, errors are the magic that turn ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. Some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on silver planchets left over from 1964. These coins are extremely rare and can sell for tens of thousands of dollars depending on their condition. Imagine holding one of those in your hand, a simple quarter that could pay for a car, or even more. Now let's talk about the current market value. The regular 1965 Liberty Quarter in circulated condition might seem ordinary, but even these coins carry a piece of history that makes them collectible. In today's market, depending on grading, eye appeal, and rarity, the Liberty Quarter Dollar from 1965 has been recorded with values reaching as high as $779,346. That's right, $779,346. An unbelievable figure for what once was just a 25-cent coin. The demand from collectors is rising every year, and as history gets older, coins like this become more valuable. What's truly amazing is that many people may have one of these coins tucked away in an old jar, a box in the attic, or inside a drawer. Families often inherit them without realizing the fortune they could be holding. That's why coin collecting is such a fascinating journey. It turns ordinary people into treasure hunters. Every time you check your pocket change, you might discover something that could change your life. Another important thing to know is grading. A 1965 Liberty Quarter in average circulated condition might not fetch a huge amount, but in mint state, the story is completely different. Coins graded MS65 or higher can demand a very strong premium, and if the coin has special toning or luster, the price skyrockets. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified some of these coins at top grades, and those are the ones breaking records in auctions. The 1965 Liberty Quarter also carries sentimental and historical value. It represents a moment in American history when the economy was shifting, when silver was disappearing from everyday money, and when collectors began to realize that modern coins could also become treasures of the future. That's why owning one of these coins is like holding a piece of history that will never come back. So, if you have old coins at home, especially quarters from the 1960s, take a closer look. You never know if you are holding one of the rare silver planchet errors, or maybe a high-grade mint state piece. Either way, the 1965 Liberty Quarter is a symbol of how history, design, rarity, and collector demand can turn a small coin into a fortune. Before we wrap up, let me remind you again of the incredible market value that has been recorded: $779,346 for a single Liberty Quarter Dollar from 1965. Just imagine what a life-changing discovery that could be. Thank you for watching today's episode on JF Coin. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the Liberty Quarter Dollar, its history, and its amazing value. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin for more videos on rare coins, hidden treasures, and the fascinating stories behind America's currency. Hit the like button if you found this information valuable, share it with your friends who might also have coins at home, and comment below if you want me to cover another special coin in the next video. Remember, the next fortune could already be in your pocket. Stay curious, keep collecting, and I'll see you in the next video right here on JF Coin. the channel where every coin has a story and every story can turn into treasure. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the United States Liberty Quarter dollar from 1967. At first glance, this might look like just another old quarter, something you would find in your pocket change or at the bottom of an old jar in your home. But what if I told you that the 1967 Liberty Quarter has an incredible history, hidden secrets, and even a market value that could surprise you? Stay tuned, because this coin is worth a lot more than you might think. Let us start with the background. The 1967 Liberty Quarter is officially called the Washington Quarter, part of the series that began in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The design features a bold profile of Washington on the obverse, created by sculptor John Flanagan. On the reverse side you find the proud American eagle, wings spread wide, symbolizing freedom, strength, and national pride. Even though collectors often call it the Liberty Quarter, it actually celebrates Washington and the spirit of American liberty. Now the year 1967 is a very special year for U.S. coinage. Just 1 year earlier in 1965, the U.S. Mint removed silver from the quarter due to rising silver prices and the increasing cost of production. Before that, quarters were made of 90% silver. But after 1965, including the 1967 issue, they were struck in a copper-nickel clad composition. This means the coin is made of a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of nickel, giving it that silvery look but without actual silver content. Because of this change, the 1967 quarter holds a unique place in numismatic history as one of the early years of the new clad coinage era. But wait, the story gets even more interesting. In 1967, the U.S. Mint faced a huge challenge. There was a national coin shortage, and to solve the problem, the government decided not to issue any mint marks from 1965 to 1967. That means the 1967 quarters have no mint mark at all, regardless of whether they were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Collectors often find this fascinating because it makes it harder to trace the exact origin of a coin. This small detail adds a historical mystery to every 1967 quarter you hold. Now let us talk about value, because I know this is what excites collectors and viewers the most. Normally, a 1967 Liberty Quarter in circulated condition might only be worth its face value of 25 cents. But when we dig deeper, rare varieties, mint errors, and high-grade examples can reach staggering amounts in the market. For example, coins with striking errors such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or coins struck on silver planchets by mistake have been discovered and are highly sought after by collectors. Some of these rare varieties can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and here is the shocking part. The highest graded, pristine examples certified by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC have reached auction prices that make collectors' jaws drop. A flawless 1967 quarter graded MS-68 or higher has sold for astonishing amounts, sometimes in the range of thousands to tens of thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. And according to current records, the market value for rare examples of the 1967 Liberty Quarter has reached as high as $779,345. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that once bought bubble gum or a soda in 1967 could today be worth nearly $800,000. This is the true magic of coin collecting. Something ordinary can transform into something extraordinary. Let us not forget that coin collecting is not only about money, it is also about history. Every coin tells a story. The 1967 quarter tells us about a turning point in U.S. coinage, the transition from silver to clad composition, the fight against the coin shortage, and the fascinating decision to remove mint marks for 3 years. Holding this coin is like holding a piece of American history in the palm of your hand. It is a reminder of changing times, economic challenges, and the creativity of the U.S. Mint. So what should you do if you come across a 1967 Liberty Quarter? First, do not dismiss it as pocket change. Check the condition carefully. Look for errors such as doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual coloring that might indicate a wrong planchet. If the coin looks sharp and well preserved, consider sending it to a grading company to find out its official grade. You never know, you might be holding a small fortune, and here is my advice to all collectors, whether you are new or experienced. Always keep your eyes open. Coins like the 1967 quarter prove that treasures still exist in circulation. Sometimes the most valuable pieces are hidden in plain sight. What seems ordinary could be your key to extraordinary profit. Before we wrap up, let us summarize. The 1967 Liberty Quarter is a clad coin with no silver content, minted without mint marks due to the coin shortage crisis. While its face value is only 25 cents, rare varieties and high-grade examples can reach market values in the hundreds, thousands, and in some cases, astonishing amounts close to $779,000. This makes it one of the most fascinating coins for collectors and investors alike. Here at JF Coin, we believe that every coin is a story, every story is a lesson, and every lesson can lead to treasure. The 1967 Liberty Quarter reminds us that history, rarity, and value come together in ways that continue to surprise the world of numismatics. So check your collections, search your pocket change, and never underestimate the power of a single coin. Thank you for watching JF Coin. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1967 Liberty Quarter, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video with your friends and fellow collectors. Stay tuned for more exciting coin stories, market updates, and hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep believing that the next coin you find might just change your life. Today we are diving deep into the history, value, and secrets of one of the most fascinating coins of the United States, the Liberty Quarter Dollar from 1971. This small piece of metal carries not only history but also hidden wealth that can surprise even the most experienced collectors. So sit back, because this video is going to uncover everything you need to know about the 1971 Liberty Quarter, why it is worth so much, and what its current market value looks like today. Let us begin with the background. The quarter dollar has been part of American history since the late 1700s, but the 1971 issue holds a very unique place. This was a time when the United States Mint was producing coins in massive numbers for circulation, yet certain coins from these years have become extremely rare. Collectors around the world know that some Liberty Quarters are not just pocket change, they are miniature treasures worth thousands and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. The 1971 Liberty Quarter Dollar carries the portrait of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan. On the reverse side, you will find the American eagle with wings spread, a proud symbol of freedom and strength. At first glance it might look like an ordinary coin, but the real story is hidden in the details, mint marks, condition, and varieties that exist from this year. One of the main reasons collectors are excited about the 1971 quarter is because of its minting process and the errors that came out of it. Some quarters from 1971 were struck with mistakes such as double dies, off-center strikes, and even planchet errors. These mistakes are not flaws in the eyes of collectors, instead they make the coin extremely valuable. If you are lucky enough to find a 1971 Liberty Quarter Dollar with one of these errors, you might be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. Now let us talk about condition. In the coin market, condition is king. The grading system, from good all the way up to mint state or proof, decides how much money your coin is really worth. A 1971 Liberty Quarter that has been heavily circulated may only bring you its face value of 25 cents, but one in uncirculated condition with a sharp strike, no scratches, and bright luster can be worth hundreds or even thousands. And if you have a rare error combined with mint state condition, then you have a jackpot coin that every collector is chasing. The story does not stop there. The 1971 Liberty Quarter Dollar is also part of the Greater Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 and became one of the most collected coin series in American history. Each year has its own secrets, but the 1971 issue stands out today because of its rising market value. Let us now talk about the money part, because this is what most people are waiting for. The current market value of a rare and high-quality 1971 Liberty Quarter Dollar has shocked many collectors. Some coins have been recorded selling for incredibly high prices in auctions. Believe it or not, one specimen has touched a value of around $779,344. That is right, nearly $800,000 for a coin that most people would mistake as just a quarter lying in their pocket or inside a drawer. Why such a high value? The answer lies in rarity and demand. There are millions of regular quarters, but there are only a handful of rare varieties and error coins in perfect condition. Collectors compete for these treasures, and when competition enters the market, the price goes higher and higher. The 1971 Liberty Quarter has become a symbol of how an ordinary coin can turn into extraordinary wealth. Now imagine this. You are searching through an old collection, or maybe just checking the change you got from the grocery store, and suddenly you spot a 1971 Liberty Quarter. It might be a bit shiny, it might have a strange error, or it might look almost untouched. That small discovery could change your financial story, because if it is one of the rare types, it could be worth more than a house, a car, or even a lifetime of savings. That is why coin hunting and collecting is such an exciting hobby. Here at JF Coin we always remind our viewers, never underestimate the power of the small coins in your pocket. They might carry history, they might carry stories of freedom and liberty, and sometimes, they might carry a fortune. The 1971 Liberty Quarter is the perfect example of this magic. So if you are a collector, a treasure hunter, or just someone who loves history, keep your eyes open for the Liberty Quarter Dollar from 1971. Study the mint marks carefully, look for Denver or Philadelphia issues, examine the details, and most importantly, learn about error coins. Because knowledge is the true key that can unlock hidden wealth in the coin world. The coin market is always changing. Values rise and fall, but rare coins like the 1971 Liberty Quarter tend to rise steadily because they are not only metal, they are artifacts of history. And as years go by, rarity increases and so does the value. So owning one of these coins today could mean owning a piece of treasure that grows in value tomorrow. Before we wrap up, let us summarize. The 1971 Liberty Quarter dollar is a coin that at first seems ordinary, but it hides an extraordinary potential. With a market value reaching as high as $779,344, it has become one of the most sought-after coins in the collector world. Its design, history, errors, and condition all play a role in its worth. Thank you for joining JF Coin on this exciting journey into the world of the Liberty Quarter dollar. If you enjoyed learning about this coin and its amazing value, make sure to stay connected with our channel because we bring you the stories, the secrets, and the treasures of coins from all around the world. Remember, every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune. This was JF Coin, and until next time, happy collecting and keep searching for that hidden treasure in your pocket change. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of the Liberty Quarter dollar, specifically the 1981 United States quarter. This coin may look ordinary at first glance, but when we uncover its history, its hidden details, and its true market value, you will see why collectors around the world are hunting for this treasure. The Liberty Quarter dollar, also known as the Washington Quarter, was introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It replaced the standing Liberty Quarter, and ever since then, it has become one of the most popular and longest-running coins in American history. The obverse side features the strong profile of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, while the reverse design, during this era, shows the powerful image of a bald eagle with wings spread wide, holding arrows and olive branches to symbolize both war and peace. Now let's talk about the 1981 quarter itself. The P mint mark represents the Philadelphia Mint, one of the busiest mints in the country. In 1981 alone, hundreds of millions of quarters were struck, but here's where things get interesting. Even though many were produced, collectors know that not every coin survives in top condition. A coin in average circulation may just be worth face value, 25 cents, but the true magic begins when you discover one in mint state, untouched by wear, sparkling with luster, and carrying sharp details. Those are the coins that skyrocket in value. So what makes the 1981 quarter so valuable today? Let's break it down. First, rarity in high grades is the key. While millions exist, very few survive in pristine mint state conditions, especially in grades like MS66, MS67, or higher. Second, errors and varieties make certain 1981 quarters extremely desirable. Collectors look for off-center strikes, double die errors, weak strikes, and unique variations in the minting process. Some error coins from this year have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. The history also adds to the charm. By 1981, the United States Mint was still producing coins primarily in copper-nickel-clad composition. Silver quarters had ended in 1964, so the 1981 quarter carries the modern clad look. Yet, despite being common in circulation, it is one of those years that stands out in the coin collecting market because collectors aim to build complete sets of Washington quarters, and a high-grade 1981 is often very difficult to locate. Now let's get to the part everyone wants to know. The current market value. As of today, the highest known sales of a 1981 Liberty Quarter in pristine condition have shocked collectors. While a circulated coin may only be worth a quarter, an uncirculated mint state gem can bring in massive amounts. In fact, some examples have reached over $779,343 in the coin market. Yes, you heard that right, more than $700,000 for one quarter. That is the power of rarity, condition, and demand in the coin collecting world. Collectors worldwide are fascinated by this coin because it proves that treasures can still be hiding in your pocket change. Imagine looking through an old jar of coins, or your grandfather's collection, and suddenly realizing that one of those 1981 quarters is not just a simple coin but a fortune waiting to be discovered. That is the dream of every coin enthusiast, and that is why we at JF Coin bring you these incredible stories, to remind you that sometimes the smallest piece of metal can hold the biggest value. If you ever come across a 1981 Liberty Quarter, here's what you need to do. First, check the condition under good lighting. Look for strong details on Washington's hair, sharp edges, and clear features on the eagle. If it looks like it has never been in circulation, you may have a mint state coin. Second, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can dramatically increase its market price. Finally, research auction results and compare your coin with those that have sold in the past. This will give you a clear picture of its potential worth. The coin collecting hobby is not only about money, it is about history, heritage, and passion. The 1981 quarter connects us with the past, reminds us of the artistry of coin design, and shows us how even a common object can become a masterpiece of value. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced collector, coins like this make the journey exciting. So remember, the Liberty Quarter Dollar 1981p may be in your pocket right now, or sitting unnoticed in an old collection, but its story is powerful. From its origins at the Philadelphia Mint, to its design rooted in American history, to its astonishing market value that has reached more than $779,000, this coin is a legend. This was JF Coin, bringing you another journey into the hidden treasures of United States coins. If you love discovering the value of coins, their history, and the thrill of finding money that is worth a fortune, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video with other collectors. Who knows, the next rare coin could be hiding in your very own hands. Thank you for watching, and remember, every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story is worth a lot of money. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the United States Liberty Quarter Dollar, specifically the 1982D mint mark. This coin may appear like just another everyday quarter, but when you know its history, details, and current market value, you will realize why collectors are willing to pay so much money for it. Let's begin with the history. The quarter dollar as we know it went through some major changes in the early 1980s. The United States Mint had been struggling with the rising cost of producing coins, and in 1982 something very unique happened. That year, the Mint stopped producing coin sets known as mint sets. Because of that, coins like the 1982D Liberty Quarter are much harder to find in pristine condition. Fewer high-grade examples exist today, which makes them especially desirable to collectors. The design of this quarter is classic. On the obverse, you see the profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States, a design originally created back in 1932 to celebrate his 200th birthday. On the reverse side, the eagle proudly spreads its wings, symbolizing American strength and freedom. By 1982, this design had already been circulating for 50 years, making it a true piece of American history carried in millions of people's hands every single day. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. The 1982D was struck at the Denver Mint. Coins from this mint carry the small letter D just behind Washington's head. Denver minted millions of these quarters, but here is the key point: because they were widely used in daily commerce, finding one in untouched condition is extremely rare. Most were circulated heavily, scratched, or worn down from decades of use, and now the big question: how much is the 1982D Liberty Quarter Dollar worth today? You will be surprised. The market value of this coin can shock you, especially in higher grades. Circulated examples might still trade for their face value, but when you move into mint state condition, things change dramatically. Collectors have paid thousands for high-quality pieces. As of today, the market has recorded values soaring up to $779,342 for rare, high-grade, perfectly preserved examples with exceptional strikes. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $800,000 for a coin that originally was just worth 25 cents. That is the magic of coin collecting, but why would anyone pay such a huge amount? The reason lies in rarity and demand. When a coin like the 1982D exists in superb gem condition, with no scratches, bright luster, and sharp details, it becomes a masterpiece. Only a handful are known to survive in such quality, and whenever one appears in an auction, collectors compete fiercely, pushing the price higher and higher. This combination of rarity, history, and condition makes the 1982D Liberty Quarter one of the most valuable modern quarters out there. Think about it. You could be holding a coin in your hand right now that has been in circulation for years, passing from one person to another, spent on groceries, gas, or candy decades ago, and yet today that same coin could make you rich. This is why people love the hobby of numismatics. It transforms ordinary change into extraordinary treasures. Another fascinating detail is that in 1982, because mint sets were not produced, coin roll hunters and collectors have to rely on circulation finds or original bank-wrapped rolls to locate quality examples. That scarcity makes every discovery even more exciting. Imagine the thrill of finding a sharp, uncirculated 1982D Liberty Quarter in your collection. You could be sitting on a gold mine without even realizing it. This is why collectors, treasure hunters, and even casual hobbyists are constantly searching their change, visiting coin shows, and bidding at auctions to secure this beauty. The 1982D Liberty Quarter is more than just a coin. It is a time capsule. It carries with it the history of America in the early 1980s, the struggles of the mint, and the stories of every person who ever held it. It represents the everyday American economy, yet at the same time, it has transformed into a rare artifact worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the next time you get a quarter in your change, do not ignore it. Take a closer look. Check the year. If you spot a 1982 with that little D mint mark, keep it safe. Inspect its condition carefully. Because that small piece of metal could be the key to a life-changing discovery. Here on JF Coin, we always remind our viewers that knowledge is power in coin collecting. The more you learn about these hidden gems, the better your chances of finding something incredible. And who knows, maybe your 1982 D Liberty Quarter will be the next one to set a record price in the coin market. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new about the Liberty Quarter dollar, make sure you subscribe to JF Coin, hit the like button, and share this video with your friends who might have coins hiding in their pockets. You never know who might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Stay tuned because we have many more exciting coin stories, secrets, and values coming your way. Until then, happy collecting and may you always find treasure in your change. Welcome back to JF Coin, the home of rare treasures, hidden gems, and the amazing stories behind coins that you might even have in your pocket right now. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins in United States history, the famous Lincoln 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln penny. We are focusing on the 1986 issue, a coin that carries more history and more hidden value than many collectors realize. At first glance it may just look like an ordinary penny, but once you learn the story and discover the current market value, you will understand why this coin is shaking the collector's market today. Let's take a step back into history. The Lincoln 1-cent coin was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. This was the very first time in American history that a real historical figure appeared on a United States coin. Until then, U.S. coins were decorated with symbolic images of liberty, eagles, and other designs, but never the face of a president. The decision to feature Abraham Lincoln changed everything, and the Lincoln penny became one of the most iconic coins of the 20th century. Now, fast forward to 1986. This was a time when the United States Mint was producing pennies in both copper-plated zinc and in very limited special minting variations. The Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints all struck Lincoln cents in 1986. While billions of coins were made, certain varieties, errors, and pristine uncirculated conditions have turned the 1986 Lincoln cent into a valuable collectible that is worth far more than just 1 cent. What makes this year special? First, the transition in the composition of the coin had already taken place in 1982. Before that year, pennies were made mostly of copper. Afterward, the mint switched to a core of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper. This change may seem small, but to collectors it marks an important divide. Coins from the mid-1980s often show unusual wear, toning, or striking errors because of the softer zinc cores. The 1986 pennies are a perfect example, and rare varieties in excellent condition are skyrocketing in value. One of the most attractive features of 1986 pennies is the possibility of double die errors. These are coins that show doubling in the letters, numbers, or even on Lincoln's profile because of misalignment during the minting process. Collectors go crazy for these errors, and the rarer the doubling, the higher the value. Some examples of 1986 double-die pennies have sold for thousands of dollars in auctions. Imagine holding a coin that cost you 1 cent but is worth more than a luxury watch today. Another important detail is mint state condition. Regular circulated 1986 pennies may only fetch a few dollars if they are unusual or have strong color toning. But a coin graded at MS65, MS67, or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can bring a fortune. Collectors compete fiercely for top-grade coins, and when you add the possibility of errors or unique toning, the prices can climb to levels most people never imagined. So what about today's market value? You may be shocked. As of now, the top end of the collector's market is valuing special examples of the 1986 Lincoln 1 cent at over $779,345. Yes, you heard that right. A coin worth just 1 cent in your pocket could actually be a rare treasure with a value close to $800,000 depending on its rarity, error type, and grade. This is why the Lincoln penny is one of the most collected and most studied coins in American history. Think about it. How many 1986 pennies are still floating around in jars, drawers, and piggy banks all over the world? Millions of people might have a fortune and not even realize it. That is the magic of coin collecting. A simple coin can hold an untold story of history, craftsmanship, and value waiting to be discovered. Now let's talk about how to identify whether your 1986 penny might be one of the valuable ones. Start by looking closely at the mint mark. Coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark. Coins from Denver show a small letter D under the date. Coins from San Francisco carry an S mark and are proof coins, often struck with mirror-like surfaces. Proof coins from 1986 can also be extremely valuable, especially in pristine condition. Next, examine the coin carefully under good lighting or even with a magnifying glass. Look for doubling in the letters of the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date itself. Doubling can also appear on Lincoln's eye or profile. Any unusual strike, extra thickness, or shadow-like effect could indicate a double die error. These coins are rare but highly desirable. Another thing to check is the overall color and surface of the coin. Some 1986 pennies develop beautiful rainbow toning due to the copper plating reacting over time. Collectors love natural, colorful toning, and some toned examples can sell for surprising amounts. But remember, artificially toned coins are not valued the same, so authenticity is important. So here is the big question. Do you have a 1986 Lincoln cent in your collection or even lying around in a coin jar at home? If you do, don't underestimate it. Take the time to examine it. Check the condition, look for errors, and if it looks special, consider getting it graded by a professional service. That simple step could transform a coin worth 1 cent into a rare treasure worth hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is why we at JF Coin love to explore these stories. Every coin tells a journey through time, from the hands of the people who spent it, to the history of the mint that struck it, to the collectors today who treasure it. The 1986 Lincoln penny is more than just change. It is a piece of American history, and in the right condition, it is a hidden fortune. So remember this. Never ignore the coins in your pocket. That little penny could be the key to something big. Keep your eyes open, check your coins carefully, and who knows, you might be the next lucky person to uncover a valuable Lincoln penny. Thank you for joining us today on JF Coin. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the 1986 Lincoln 1-cent coin, make sure to stay tuned because we bring you the best stories, market updates, and hidden treasures from the world of numismatics. Coins are more than metal. They are history, they are art, and they can be worth a lot more than you think. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and keep believing in the magic of coins. This is JF Coin. Today we are going to dive into one of the most fascinating coins in modern United States history, the 1997 Lincoln quarter dollar. At first glance, it may look like just another coin you might find in your pocket change, but believe me, this coin can be worth a fortune, with some specimens reaching an unbelievable market value of over $779,339. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $800,000 for a single coin that most people would never think twice about. Now let us take a journey into the world of this coin, because knowing the history and details of a coin can turn ordinary pocket change into extraordinary wealth. The 1997 quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the busiest mints in America, producing millions of coins each year. On the obverse, or the front of the coin, you see the familiar portrait of George Washington, the very first President of the United States, a symbol of leadership and freedom. Above him sits the word liberty, a reminder of the core values on which America was built. Below Washington is the date, 1997, marking the year this remarkable coin came into existence. And just beside the date, you will notice the small letter P, representing the Philadelphia Mint, where this particular coin was struck. The reverse side of the coin carries the majestic design of the heraldic eagle, wings spread wide, arrows in one talon, and olive branches in the other. This eagle design was used on Washington quarters for decades, until the state quarters program began in 1999. That means the 1997 quarter is one of the very last issues to carry the classic eagle design before the modern era of state commemorative coins began. For collectors, this transition adds historical importance and makes the coin even more desirable. But what makes the 1997 quarter dollar so valuable in today's market? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and sometimes unique minting errors. Although millions of these coins were made for circulation, only a handful exist in pristine, high-grade condition, preserved as if they just left the mint yesterday. Professional grading companies have given certain examples the highest grades possible, like Mint State 68 or even higher. These top-graded coins are incredibly rare, and when they appear at auctions, collectors fight tooth and nail to add them to their collection. It is in these moments that values skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Another factor that pushes the value of the 1997 quarter to astronomical levels is the presence of rare minting errors. Some coins were struck with double dies, off-center strikes, or other unique production mistakes that make them one of a kind. When you combine rarity with historical significance and high demand, you get the recipe for a coin that can command a life-changing price. Now let us talk about the current market value. While an ordinary 1997 quarter found in circulation may only be worth its face value of 25 cents, a certified mint state specimen can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And the top-graded, finest known examples have already sold for over $779,339 in major auctions, proving that this coin is no ordinary piece of change. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could pay for a luxury car, a dream house, or even set you up for life. That is the magic of coin collecting. Collectors around the world know that coins are more than just money. They are time machines, carrying history, artistry, and culture in every detail. The 1997 Lincoln quarter dollar is a perfect example of this. It represents the end of an era, the skill of the Philadelphia Mint, and the chance for ordinary people to discover extraordinary wealth. Every time you check your pocket change, you could be holding a treasure without even knowing it. So the next time you see a 1997 quarter with a P mint mark, take a close look. Examine its shine, its strike, and its condition. Because you might just be the lucky person to find one of those rare, valuable coins worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. ATJF coin, we believe every coin has a story, and every story is worth telling. If you enjoyed learning about the incredible 1997 P. Lincoln quarter dollar, do not forget to like this video, share it with other collectors, and subscribe to JF Coin for more amazing discoveries in the world of numismatics. Remember, knowledge is the key to unlocking the hidden treasures in your pocket. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep believing that the next great treasure might already be in your hands.